fine. Alright guys, Frank, how's it going, buddy?
It's going.
How'd you like our horse episode?
It was very horsey.
Yeah? Was it enough horsing around for you?
Not enough horsing around. Too much
What?
talk of the fucking...
Too much? Fuck you, it was a horse episode.
Not enough horsing around, I said.
You said it was too much talk
Too
about the
much
horses.
horse, yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I'm saying more
Alright, well let's
horses
give them more horses then.
fucking research.
You guys want... No,
Topics.
fuck the horses, we're fine. Oh, we already talked about people. Yeah, we talked about that too. So for those of you who like horses a little too much, listen to our last episode for opinions on that. No, today we've got a different subject. Today we're going to talk about...
Me.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah? What you got going on? Because I don't see anything going on your face, on your arms, so I imagine that it's either on your nipples, your belly button, or your penis.
My nipples, what the fuck?
Oh,
like, I
you
get
meant
that they're fucking pointy, but like, that's sexual harassment.
Because for everybody listening, because this was off camera and off mic, Frank walks in and immediately I like flick his nipple. He gets slightly. Why does everybody do that? It's like it's so pronounced. Which it's not. Let me clarify. He doesn't have like Scary Movie 2 nipples. Like that. Who's that guy? The guy that played. What's his name? He played It in the original Stephen King movie.
Oh, Curry.
Something Curry?
Stephen Curry.
No, that's the basketball
Oh,
player.
Right.
No, the dude in Scary Movie 2's nipples were as tall as fucking Steph Curry, though. That dude's relatively... I think he's only 6 feet for the NBA. Anyway. What we're talking about, Frank, is body modifications. That's what I'm talking about. I don't see nothing on your face, but I assume maybe the nipples. Maybe you got a Prince Albert going on.
Maybe.
You hadn't heard of a Prince Albert before. I think I mentioned that to you, and you're like, what's
No,
that?
I did, but I was like, what? Sounds familiar.
Doesn't
and
it
you're
come in a
like,
can?
Prince Albert is fucking this and that. And I'm like, ah.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Prince Albert is a penis piercing, where it goes through the hole of the penis and out the top or out the bottom. Or some people actually just get like a catheter in place, where like it's like a plug for the penis. You know what I mean? And they unscrew. Yeah, and it's just a tube, right? So you unscrew the tip, and they can piss through the tube, but it still has this weird little fucking... Sorry, I'm hiccuping. My fucking coffee got to me a little bit. Yeah. First time I had coffee in a week. Oh, there's another point of discussion that I haven't mentioned to everybody yet.
Okay.
I am sober-ish.
Cool.
I'm sober-ish because I just had my first cup of coffee in the last week.
Oh.
But so sometime last week I drank too much at my family's. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm drinking too much. I was good for a couple of years, then I started drinking again. I think I'm ready to quit again. This time I think for good. I really enjoyed the high of being sober this last week. And I've been running a shitload too. But I digress. Sorry. Just wanted to throw that out to you people who actually care about this kind of stuff. If you're having trouble quitting, we all do. We all have our issues when we're addicts. I told somebody that I was quitting. They're like, why? Or I told them, yeah, and I'm thinking about looking into AA meetings. I'm like, well, that's dramatic. It's like, yeah, so is addiction. I'm like, yeah, but you're not like drinking all day, every day. It's like, yes, I was. And they're like, oh, well. And I kind of shrugged it off and brushed it off. I was like, dude, you have no idea what this is. That's the problem. That's the problem, is that I am such a functional fucking addict. I could be fucking so, like, falling down drunk in my head, but my body is still stable, visually to the people around me. So I can go to work drunk, I can go to family reunions drunk, family get-togethers drunk, and everybody thinks I'm having my first beer as I walk through the door. Like, nope, I've been drinking since 9 a.m. or 7 a.m. when I woke up. I told you, I was going through, not one bottle, but the double-sized bottles. I was drinking a quarter of that a day. So I'd go through a double bottle in 4 days. That's a bottle every 2 days. I was drinking a lot. I'd wake up, have a shot just to feel normal, then come home, have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until a quarter of the bottle was done. And the only reason I would stop at a quarter of a bottle was because I wanted some to drink the next day. So I'm a fucking alcoholic. I'm an addict. I do everything to excess. So I just wanted to throw that in there for those of you who listen due to my drug talk and my alcohol talk. It probably won't stop You know, addicts can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. But I hope I can help people who are struggling out there realize they're not alone, and that if you want to stop, you just got to keep trying. We all fuck up. We relapse sometimes. Some of us don't relapse for 20, 30 years. Some of us don't relapse at all. Some of us last a couple years. Some of us last a couple months. Some of us just a couple weeks. The problem isn't that you fail. The problem is that you stop trying. So just keep trying to be better today than you were yesterday. That's all I wanted to say about that. I just wanted to touch on that. Sorry, I know that was a huge digression from the topic that we're touching today. But you know what? Maybe it goes into it a little bit, because what we see with these body modifications, the people go extreme. There are people that are completely sober individuals, don't touch any drugs, but they are tatted up from head to toe, face, neck, chest, tits, ass, gunt, and fucking shunt, toes. Everything's tatted up. They got fucking subdermal implants on their head, fucking piercings. Oh my god, piercings. These piercings are intense and getting way overboard. This dude, okay, that's what we're talking about. So let me throw my addiction shit into a different type of addiction here. Body modification. What do you think of this shit, man? You were saying you've actually been shamed because you don't have fucking shit going on?
No, this is back in high school, back when the Messenger was a thing. Like the group, the
Messenger? AOL Messenger? Or MSN?
I was poor. I had MSN.
I don't know. Oh yeah, AOL was a subscription thing, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I had that as a kid, and those AOL chat rooms was nothing but A/S/L questions, which was, back in the 90s, kids, that meant age, sex, location. You would ask somebody, how old are you male or female, and where are you from? Because you wanted to know if you could hook up in real life or not.
Yeah. And
if not, they wanted to know that you weren't going to come chasing them down if there was some pervert talking to a 15-year-old boy. And as long as you're in a different state, you can't get in that much trouble, right? Which I think was a lot of what I dealt with. I was real into fucking cyber sex.
Oh, yeah.
As a 12, 13, 14-year-old kid. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah.
Holy shit. We're never going to get to body modifications. We're just going down into a dark rabbit hole of disgustingness.
Rabbit hole's extra.
The rabbit hole was extra, yeah. That was on the OnlyFans of the day. What was that? They didn't have OnlyFans back there. Back then, you just fucking had LimeWire.
Yeah.
Fucking Napster.
You never knew what you were downloading.
Never knew what you were downloading. That's what we were talking about last time with the bestiality shit. You look for a college girl taking it doggy style, and you end up fucking watching a girl taking it by a dog in a disgusting style. So, whoo! What the fuck was this episode supposed to be about, Frank?
Body modifications. You wanted to get into fucking...
Why were you shamed?
Okay, this was back in one of them fucking chat rooms or one of them chat pages fucking back in high school. How I wanted to get into that fucking, I guess, culture you can...
That alternative
lifestyle.
world.
Yeah, like I wanted to talk to people and fucking, you know, like get a perspective of what it's like, you know. And,
what was it that fascinated you? Was it the tattoos, the piercings, or the journals? What in particular had you, floating towards that?
It was just the fucking alternative lifestyle, the fucking tats, the piercings. I was curious about because when you're a little kid, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get my ear pierced, just one side, and then you come to find out one side means you're gay, one side means you're straight. But
oh, that was hard for me to figure out too. And then one day I realized that there were guys getting both of them pierced, which seemed to me a hell of a lot more gay than having the wrong side pierced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went with I was told the left ear when I said fuck it, I'll go with the left. Basically, I think it was like if you wear it on the side, you wear your watch on. It was the masculine, it was the jewelry side is supposed to be the left side for guys.
Huh.
You know what I mean? I don't know, that's the way it was described to me. I never understood it. And maybe it was just some sort of device that the person telling me used to remember which side was the straight side. This is the side you wear your watch on. I don't know. That's just what I was told. It was buy one, get one free, so instead of getting both pierced, because I thought that was real gay, I got the same one pierced, which was arguably even more gay. I had no idea. It was one and then one right above it, here on my lobe.
Huh.
I never wore I wore the second one for a while, but eventually I went down to just wearing the single one. And then every once in a while now I'll wear it, but I don't know if I wear it. You never had your ears pierced, huh?
No.
Yes, that's odd. I could see you getting all like the studs, you know, the big.
Yeah, I want to
not the
get
studs,
that, but I'm like, my
gauges.
fucking earlobes are too fucking little.
You do have tiny ears. It's not that you have small ears, it's that you have such a big head.
The earlobe, it's like there's not much space there. But then again, you're stretching.
You're stretching it,
so,
yeah.
It shouldn't matter.
Because your lobe does hang, not as much as mine. I got large lobes, but yours, you got, at least you do have a hanging lobe. Have you seen the people that don't have a lobe? Where it like just goes straight into the side of their head?
Yeah, that's weird.
They are a little weird, but they're pretty. They're pretty little ears.
Are they?
I guess. I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to ears.
Oh.
You know which ears? Oh, I have a sexual proclivity towards girls who like to wear the elf ear attachments.
Oh.
I love the elfin ears. And then that's one body modification I really like, when they trim the ears like they're fucking Doberman pinchers. Then they get the little pointy ear. But it's rare that they look right, because you're taking off so much then the ears just look too small. Like it looks better if you basically, if they could detach the earlobe and put it on top and make it pointy, I would do that. No, I wouldn't, because it doesn't look good on guys. I think it only looks good on girls.
Well, anyways. So then, somebody brought up suspension, I think.
Yes, I did. Well, I did
No,
in relation to this, because that's what got me into it, the suspension shit, because when I was a kid, did you ever take safety pins?
Yeah.
And stick them through like the top layer of your skin in your palm? Well, I would then go up here and get it through the top layer of skin on my arm, and then I realized, well, I could go a little deeper, and so I started doing like full inch-long, 2-inch-long piercings in school. I would like get a lighter, burn it, because I was always scared of getting infected too. Once I realized I was going deeper. But I was doing legitimate self-piercings in class with no ice or nothing, just a lighter to sterilize, wipe it down. And then I'd go through here. If you look closely, I know I'm a hairy motherfucker. You can't really see under, but you see these little black dots here? You see that one there?
I see kind of like an indent in your arm.
Where?
Yeah, like right there.
That's muscle, you dumb fuck.
Oh.
See that muscle right there? That's because I work for a living with my hands.
Okay.
But aside from the indentions on my arms from, using them, you see these tiny little black dots?
Yeah, very.
Like that one there?
Yeah, that one.
These were all a lot closer because I was a much smaller kid. These were probably maybe an inch away. Now they're about 2 inches away. It's whatever. But all these were piercings. And you see I only have them mostly in my right leg. That was a real good. That one was super deep. So I was doing this on my own, just in my arms. Then one day, I saw what you saw. I saw these guys doing suspension things. And I love, if you've ever done it like deep under your skin on your arm the way I did in school, there is a legitimate pleasure. It is a pleasurable pain. It's like, even now, just doing what I'm doing, I'm pinching my skin and pulling. Maybe it's because I did it so much as a kid that now it's not an unpleasant feeling. Like it's oddly sexual for me. And it's odd, I've never dealt with like pain in the bedroom or anything. That's never been my best. Slapping her ass, but not getting slapped myself. I never enjoyed that. But yeah, once I saw something about the giant hooks in these large surface areas on the back. Like I can, like thinking about it, I could feel it. You know what I mean? But I could feel it in a pleasurable way. I could see how that would be sexy. Almost feeling your skin rip. Like, I'm getting kind of chills thinking about it. It sounds so good. What's wrong with me? Do you have that experience?
No, somebody brought up the fucking suspension thing, and I said, fucking right type, I've always wanted to try suspension. And I was like 13, 14.
A lot lighter.
And some fucking guy was like, "You've never been suspended? Oh my god, I've only done it like 14 times.
This guy's so full of shit."
And I'm like...
In high school, he never fucking did it.
As far as I know, he was in fucking college or whatever. You know, because everyone's different. I think he was 25, but I'm like, just a fucking child.
Yeah, no, that's just. But somebody that does that doesn't say, "Oh my God, you don't do it." They know the risks. The people that actually do it, they know the risks. It's not a safe thing. It is dangerous. You can rip skin out by doing that if it's not done right. If you twist the wrong way, if you have to sneeze when you're up there, fucking suspended. Could you imagine that jerk?
Yeah.
Fucking jerking your body for a sneeze while you're suspended by your shoulders. Woo! Woo! Again, it's
That was last episode.
we like to tie our week episodes together, our week's episodes together. So, what made you stay away from it? Why didn't you ever go search it out? For me, I've just never traveled. I've never made it to any of those shows.
No, well, I guess I just forgot about it because I went to the Marines and then I had one lifestyle, but I think piercings are forbidden. And so then I did that.
Piercings are forbidden? Why? What?
Yeah, piercings. I think piercings are forbidden.
By who?
In the military.
Oh, well, they make you take them off. Yeah.
Probably.
They're hazards.
But
they're hazards.
Yeah, I knew a guy or two that had his fucking dick pierced, but okay, whatever.
Well, it's kind of hard for them to inspect that. Don't ask, don't tell policy on the nether regions.
Yeah, and then what happened? Yeah, I didn't get a piercing until what was it, 2013?
If you say so. What did you get?
I got my fucking lip pierced because I think that was around the
When
time
your tongue? I thought it was your tongue.
No, he wouldn't tell me to get my tongue pierced. I'm like, that's a chick thing.
I mean, does it matter if you're not giving anybody oral?
Well, I mean,
aren't you basically asexual at this point, Frank?
Probably, because like I'm not actively looking for it, and it's like
not exactly in a position for it to happen now. Anyways, you can't go out anywhere. Can't.
Well, apparently, doctors are recommending that if you're gonna get down and dirty, to wear a mask.
No.
And not face each other.
Fuck you. Oh, so basically your favorite positions are still
style or
reverse cowgirl.
Yeah.
You could do, what's that one where she's like she's holding her ass up in the air on her shoulders and you're like facing the opposite way, pushing your dick down and you're like doing mini squats on it.
The drill?
The drill? Is that what it's called? I don't know.
That's what you're referring to.
Sure. Whatever you say. You're much more into these Kama Sutra positions than I am.
Yeah.
So what do you think of these subdermal implants? The horns?
Yeah. When I was in jail, this guy was talking about how he used to put beads into guys' dicks.
Yeah, I've seen that. There was this one porn star who, he was like Dominican or something. He had a big ass dick. And he would fuck these girls, but he had he called it la perla, the pearl.
Yeah, they're pearls.
Yeah, he had this pearl. It was just this like dot, like a little marble, half a marble implanted on the top of his dick. Mm-hmm. And one of the girls, what the fuck is that? She's like, it's la perla. It's for a Jew. This is so fucking weird, man. But yeah, you have to explain that to people. Nowadays, maybe and then you see some crazy ones where they got it's wrapped around their cock like it's a fucking like a plastic dildo with the beads in it that spin around. You ever seen those? I'm like, oh my god, that looks so painful. But those big girls that like the size queens, I'm sure that's great for them. But I don't like size queens.
Yeah,
they make me feel bad.
The guy was telling me, he's like, yeah, girls go crazy.
I wouldn't mind that.
And he was.
I wouldn't mind that. I think.
Stories.
You know what? I'd rather have a subdermal in my penis than a Prince Albert, where you're fully piercing it, and then you have to keep it clean too. Like the subdermal, you put it under your skin. You set it and forget. The weird thing about those subdermals, though, like the horns that people put on their heads, you see them grab them and move them.
Yeah.
So they're free moving under your fucking skin. So I was thinking, what happens if you roll over in bed? Does it end up in the back of your head at some point? Can this shit move down and pop out your ear? What the fuck? What is the biology here?
So then, what happened? Yeah, he was telling me some stories about how fucking him and this girl and this other girl, him and fucking the ladies, his experience with the fucking la perla.
We gotta find some memes for that shit. Some blocked out, fucking half blurred out pictures.
Yeah, this stuff is like girls go crazy over one, but if you have two, oh my god.
Yeah, I have one on the top and the bottom. Yeah.
Well, no, like
for the different
one
positions
after the other. Like
yeah, side by side or top
well spaced
in
out.
a line.
Like about an inch or I don't know, depending on the
Like the rhino horns from last episode. Fucking keep up, people. Follow along. Hey man, we're doing pretty good. On the side note, to digress a little bit, we're doing pretty nice. We all of a sudden we jumped up on our listenership.
Pretty sure
hey man, we must be doing something right. We must be doing something right.
But yeah, and so then I was thinking, I'm like, maybe I should get fucking beads, you know. But then I'm like, you know, it's not gonna be the same. Like if I fucking decide to back out on it, like after having them, and
you can get them taken out.
Yeah, I can, but like
the problem.
Then I'm gonna miss it. You know?
You think?
Yeah, I know myself.
You'd get attached to it.
Yeah.
So then why would you get rid of it?
Why would I fucking
just keep it?
Start it if I'm already attached to this piece?
Oh, I don't know. Body modification, just to make things prettier. Why do girls put makeup on? They look fine the way they are. Just make it look a little nicer.
Yeah. So I'm like,
in their opinion, not mine. I don't believe girls should ever wear makeup.
Like, okay, I'm gonna keep in touch with this guy so he can fucking install.
I think I would like that. The problem I have with anything dealing with the penis is the healing time.
Yeah.
You can't fucking master. You can't play with it for fucking weeks. Like, what the fuck is the point? Like, no, not worth it. It's not worth a week off of self-pleasure or pleasure with my wife.
After it heals, you're like, I'm fucking using this. It'll be worth it. Then.
I guess if you're deficient in the bedroom and you need tools like that, like I've been through my phases with my wife and with girls in my past where we use toys and shit, but I'm an efficient fucking lover, motherfucker. I don't need these toys to help them out. I'm just, well, with the exception of one ex that you might or might not know, I'm not going to clarify.
Okay.
Because some people just have a hard time getting off due to their medication or whatever. So in that particular situation, it just helped to have it to it.
Yeah, and then that's why I've never done it with ecstasy, because I'm already fucking good.
Oh, ecstasy sucks.
And then
sex on ecstasy, it sounds like you feel more pleasure like with the senses everywhere else. Like I don't know, man. Because I've tried that, but I get too into like the physical feelings of everything that I don't want to pay attention. You know what I mean? Like it's just hard to pay attention having sex on ecstasy. I can never do it.
Yeah,
never enjoy it.
I'm already good at it. You know, why would I fucking alter it? And then when I fucking stop doing it, it's not gonna be the same ever again, and I'm gonna lose my rhythm.
Yeah, and then what if you lose like sensation? What if you nick a nerve or something like no, you're not gonna mess with my junk, man. Did you ever think about talking about body modification? That's the whole point of this episode. Let's talk about the original body modification. The OG body modification. Can you think of what it might be?
Amputation?
Circumcision.
I'm not that Jewish.
Well, apparently it's not just a Jewish thing. Now it's just a sanitation thing. They asked me if I wanted my son to be circumcised at the thing. I'm like, we're Catholic. I was like, I don't know. Well, we were raised Catholic, you know. But I remember being a kid and being upset because I'm an internet kid. Born in the age of the internet. I watched porn as a child, 12 and up, or yeah, probably 12 and later. And I found a way to find it. You know, I learned how to clear search history and all that shit at the age of 12, 13. I was very computer literate just because I like to watch porn. So for those of you who are all anti-porn, it's been teaching kids how to use a computer since 1992. Oh, that would have made me like 3 years old, but whatever, you know what I mean, 4 years old. Point being, what was my point? Where was I going?
That
circumcision. So yeah, the Goya, the Gaia? No, Goya is the beans, right? Yeah, that's a whole different subject. What were they called? The Jewish priests that came and bit the penis of the children to bite it off.
What? Really?
Yeah, that's the tradition.
To bite it off?
Yeah, and that's it was actually a common thing for children to have like sexually transmitted diseases after their circumcision because it was tradition for the not the priest but the Jewish rabbi, yes.
Yeah.
The rabbi performing the circumcision would use his mouth. He would bite the tip, bite the excess foreskin off, suck the blood, and that was it.
So he would give the kid a blowjob?
In a sense, yeah. And that's still practiced today in some cultures, in the more traditional cultures.
What?
Yeah. Yeah! Yeah! It hurts, right? It hurt. Everything about it sounds wrong.
That. It's like fucking, you know,
how does
how
does a tradition like that become a thing? And then you have now that it's the clit, right? They cut the female's clits off.
Female circumcision.
In the Muslim
Muslim
community and others.
But it's so fucking sad. Like they tell these little girls.
But that's specifically to get rid of the pleasure. That is to remove the pleasurable aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
They tell these little girls.
You know what it is? It's guys with micro penises that got mad that their wife's clit was bigger than their cock. We need to cut that off. It makes me feel bad. I don't want to suck on a tiny. Yeah, well, what is it? Another reference to Clerks 2. You know, the next step up from a girl with an oversized clit is a guy with an undersized dick. Which I disagree, by the way. I have no problem with an oversized clit. I'll suck that little thing right off.
Yeah, they tell these little girls that they're gonna go to a fucking party, and then these little girls are in a room thinking that's the party, waiting for the actual fucking party. And the adult comes in and it's like, okay, we're going, and then there's a fucking old lady with a fucking plate.
Jesus.
Aha!
Right.
Yeah.
So these are the more sadistic, but these are body modifications, not by choice.
Yeah.
These are obviously
religious.
So that's what we decided. Like, I understand that there are health benefits, but you know what? My parents taught me. They didn't teach me by like doing it for me. But by the time I was old enough to, to have this sex talk, my dad reminded me like, "Hey, did you wash it good?" And he said it in a joking manner. I'm sure it came up on TV or something. But at some point, you have to have this conversation. I've had this conversation with my kid when he started bathing by himself. And look, so make sure you wash your wee-wee, your balls. Your balls, he laughs, right? Like, make sure you wash your booty. Where are you going? Oh, you gotta blow your snot? Yeah. Oh, you nasty Frank. So, yeah, that's something you have to teach. And make sure Jackson, look, you pull this back, because you gotta wash underneath that skin too, okay? So that it doesn't get stinky. Just like your booty. You gotta pull your cheeks apart and wipe in there. You gotta pull your skin back on your wee-wee and wash in there. And yeah, fuck it. It's an uncomfortable conversation to have, so people avoid it with their kids. That's what's fucked up, man. People are so uncomfortable talking about just proper hygiene and proper safe sex shit. Like, what are you supposed to do? What's a kid supposed to do when the only information they get is from their friends at school?
Yeah, I never understood how circumcision is cleaner than fucking natural.
Well,
because I mean, your head is exposed to everything.
Well, and because it's not kept moist, it's like your tongue. You imagine your tongue getting dried out. Eventually, you would lose like sensitivity to it. You lose your taste buds. You know, because it needs to naturally be moist to hold some amount of moisture in it. It's the same thing with a man's penis. Like, men's penises lose sensitivity after circumcision, sometimes because of nerves, they cut it too short, or something like that. But oftentimes it's just because it's so overly stimulated by not being sheathed that the head loses some of the sensitivity.
Yeah.
Which is fucking weird. Why would I want my son's sex life to be less pleasurable because he might think it looks pretty? Which was the reason that at 12 or 13, I think I remember asking my parents, why wasn't I circumcised? And can I get circumcised? And they asked why. I don't know. And really it was because, I want girls to think my penis looks pretty. Because I was having cyber sex, in reference to earlier. I was having cyber sex with some girls, like, are you circumcised? I'm like, no.
Does it matter?
And she's like, yeah, just picture it. Well, webcams, Sorry, Mom and Dad, I did bad things as a kid. But, yeah, so I got made fun of a little bit by one time by one girl. And then as we get older, it's always, like, everything's circumcised on porn. It can make people feel bad, just like girls that you see on porn that have like the tightest vaginas when they're like fucking every week. And they should have these meat curtains just flapping in the wind, but they don't because they get surgery. So now you have girls that are concerned about the way that their pussy lips look.
Well, Asian women have 14 more vagina muscles.
What?
Yeah.
That can't be right.
That's why they're quote unquote perfect for that lifestyle.
Whatever, I've seen Asian porn. They've got some meat flaps too if they don't fucking get surgery on it. Whatever, man. There's benefits to everything, and you know, white women are freakier. Fucking black women have bigger asses. Hispanics have better proportions all the way around. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you know, everybody's got their different benefits to their body type. I'm not like this whole Asians have better pussies. I don't buy that shit. Just like Asian men have smaller dicks. Like, yeah, maybe in one community, in another community, they might be massive. I don't fucking know. They might be just regular in other. I don't know, dude. I don't like to judge people's body parts. We all have what we got. It's like, what are you gonna do with it?
Yep.
It's not the size of the wave, bro. It's the motion of the ocean. But so this body modification episode went real sexual real fast. So let's get back to, so would you ever think, oh, talking about the subdermals, right? That move around. There's a new one that you can get done where they put it under your eye. It's a subdermal. It's a subdermal, so it's under the top layer of your skin in your eye on the white part. For $3,000 you can get these little sterling silver platinum beads in the shape of a heart or a star or whatever.
Inside your eye?
Literally under the skin of the white of your eye.
Oh.
So it looks just like it would up here. You know, you can see the shape of it over your skin on your forehead or on your arm, but this is actually under the eye, right next to the eye. For $3,000 you can get this done.
Huh.
Isn't that fucking weird? So what do you think about this subdermal stuff? Would you ever get something like that? Other than the penis one?
Sounds frustrating for the fucking piercer. No?
It's not really that hard. I think the bigger ones, like the circle, the big half circle, or the horns that people get put in, that I imagine you have to cut a slit, put it in, stitch it closed, right? But these the small beads that they put in, they're basically just taking. It's like the RFI chips. Some of them are just like big enough needles, you know. Oh no, I'm sorry. I am thinking of the RFI chips. Yeah, so I guess these subdermals, they'd have to actually slice you open.
Yeah.
I should look into this. Anyway, whatever. Those are fucking weird. So you wouldn't do that?
No.
Is there any sort of body modification you ever actually considered?
Well, I had a lip piercing, and this girl was like, "Oh my god, you should get snake bites." And I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna get fucking snake bites. Because then I'll have fucking 3 fucking rings in my bottom lip. I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna eat?"
I had a friend who had 3 or 4 on her bottom lip, 1 or 2 on the top. Her nose, her ear. She looked great though. She's real. She's my best friend growing up, Jackie. Shout out Jackie if you're listening. She always had the best, most well organized piercings. She had like a lot, but it was like it wasn't too much. You know what I mean? Like they were perfectly spaced. They didn't look overly clustered. I was always jealous of her piercings, but I always had like more professional jobs, like retail jobs. I wouldn't let me wear that kind of stuff. Food, handler shit. You can't wear those kind of things.
And, well, besides the fucking La Perla, I don't think I'd get a fucking body modification.
No? What about scarification? Or brands?
Ads I've thought of.
Now that looks cool, dude. When they're healed up, they are some of the prettiest things I've ever seen. Now that starts with the Germans, though. You want to talk about scarification? This starts back in World War I and II. Or World War I, back when they were still using sabers and lances. When they would get in actual duels with swords. It was often just until, 2 or 3 points of cuts had been made. So what they would do is if they got a cut in their face, and oftentimes they would actually have their friends cut them on purpose because it showed a higher level of masculinity to have these scars, just like tattoos today. or in the 90s anyway, the guys with tattoos were the badasses. Now if you have a tattoo today, you're just a hipster. But back in the day, back in World War One, we've talked about this on the podcast too, they wouldn't just get the scars on their face intentionally or in battle. They would then proceed to go stuff them with like sawdust and other things to make it more pronounced and red. And believe it or not, they would actually put makeup on and tattoo some on in certain instances to fake that they were in battles or actually had these cuts, and they would actually just put makeup on. Just like girls used to wear stickers in the same manner. The beauty mark was just like Dionysus, or the goddess Dionysus, I think. One of the most beautiful one? Venus. I'm sorry, Venus.
Yeah.
Those might be Greek and Roman getting mixed up, whatever. She was supposed to be the most beautiful creature in existence, most beautiful goddess. But what made her even more beautiful was the fact that she had a single mole on her face, just like Madonna did, and who was the other one? She died. JFK's squeeze.
Oh,
Marilyn Monroe, yeah. So these women were so beautiful, these Dionysus said, that the idea was that the single mole that she had enhanced the beauty of the rest of the one flaw was there in order to bring attention to how perfect everything else was.
So that's why girls have said my penis is pretty.
Because it has the one flaw?
Because it has a fucking... I have a fucking... Not a mole, a freckle. It's the same thing, right? One on top and one on bottom.
Yeah, it's those imperfections that pronounce the beauty even more. You know what I mean? So it was actually common in like the Renaissance era for stickers, little felt stickers to be applied to women on their faces. So they'd have fake moles on their faces to represent their beauty is as beautiful as Dionysus. And believe, you know who had the most of these marks? These false felt, or whatever they were, fucking little stickers on their face, was the harlots. The whores?
Yeah.
The whores on the street would wear these because, yes, they were beauty marks. That's why they're called beauty marks today. You know, if you have skin tags, oh, it's a beauty mark. No, bitch, it's a skin tag. Get that removed and get a biopsy on it. But back in the day, these fake ones were used by the harlots. They'd have them all over their face to cover up their fucking, not herpes, what is it on the face? The lesions on their face caused by, what was it? They would put black tar on it. It was common back in the day.
Black tar?
Yeah, man, fuck you. You can help me out in some of these fucking
I'm trying
stories.
to fucking... What? Like...
What was the STD that everybody had?
Syphilis?
Syphilis! Fuck you! Thank you, Frank. You are useful sometimes.
There was syphilis.
So yeah, it was to cover up the boils and shit that would come up from syphilis, the little marks on their head. They'd over powder, and then whatever couldn't be covered up by the makeup, they would put these little stickers on it to cover up. But so yeah, but that's where it came from, was the goddess. And so there's always been some sort of body modification, whether it's circumcision for religious reasons, it's just adding stickers to your face to modify your appearance in that manner, or getting piercings and tattoos now, and subdermals now, and scarification, and I love that they do the branding now too. Have you ever seen they use just a regular soldering iron at like 500 degrees?
Huh.
And actually, from what I read or saw on YouTube, you actually need to use a different temperature when you're branding for different parts of the skin. Because like on the inside of your arm, it's more sensitive than the outside of your arm. You have thicker skin on your calf than you would on your thigh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why tattoos hurt in certain places.
Oh yeah, because just how thick the skin or tough the skin is in those areas. So it's cool. There is a science to these things. It's not like we've gotten better at it's not that we've come up with new ways of modifying our body. We've come up with better ways to do it. And the last point that I want to bring up, I was bringing up with these fucking giant needles that they stick under your skin, right here, right between your thumb and your forefinger. That webbing. That's where they're putting the RFI chips, the RDF chips. What are they called?
I'm not into technologies like you.
I am. I mean, I think this is stupid. I think in a world where everybody thinks oh my god, these vaccines that they want us to get, they're just gonna put GPS trackers on us. Motherfucker, do you own a cell phone? Do you own a fucking cell phone? You carry it with you every fucking where you go. They're following you. They know where you're at. They know what you're doing. They don't give a, they're not gonna fucking make it a whole fucking thing to trick you into getting these chips on you. We're carrying them around every day of our fucking lives. Every day. Do you have a credit card and no? You see that little fucking thing on there? That little square, oh, not on camera, with my fucking numbers and names. Somebody's gonna come and fucking zoom in on that. Hopefully our camera's not that good, but. So but your credit card has a little square thing on it. That's a chip.
Yeah.
They think because it doesn't look like it has wires on it. Like, bitches, there are body modifications in the form of press-on tattoos. They're just golden sheen tattoos that you can put on your forearm or put right here, and they work to actually transmit signals to your cell phone or to your computer. You can use your forearm as a mouse and keyboard just using these press-on tattoos. You don't need wires and chips anymore. They are at the level where you don't need to know that it's tech that you're looking at. It could just look like a picture, and it's actually a camera looking at you, or it's actually a fucking touch screen of some sort. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, we don't need wires anymore. This is a new era that we're in. Body modification isn't what it used to be. These RFID chips, they're cute. They're fun. They're cute. People put them in. They can start their car with them. They can start their motorcycles. They can open doors. Like, yeah, you know what else can do that? Your fucking hands. Push a button. You know, to have your smartphone in your hand, like, oh, but I don't want to have to take my phone out of my pocket. You know what I got? A fucking Apple Watch. Push a button on your wrist. You don't need to take it. It's already there. It's available. Like, people are absolutely batshit crazy. We've been modifying our bodies with our technology that we carry with us. You know what? Me and you are cyborgs right now. What do we have in our faces?
Glasses.
Glasses.
Yeah.
Glasses, one of the original technological body modifications. But because it doesn't actually have circuits and wires, we don't consider it a body modification. Like, no, bitch, you take them off, you are fucking blind. I'm blind as a fucking bat without my glasses. I need this body modification. It modifies my body's functions to see clearly. Contacts, it's a closer thing to do that. Now what do we use? We use technology to modify our body using in the form of plastic surgery. But we don't call it plastic surgery because we're not putting anything in. What we're doing is actually shaving something off. We do LASIK surgery. We cut off a flap of the skin, that outer layer of skin that's holding in the dermals of other people. They take that off, fold it over, and they shave down, using lasers, the shape of your cornea in order to give you a good vision again. They close up that flap, give a little laser solder close, and you're fine. Within 24 hours, you can see clearly. And you can immediately see better, but within 24 hours, your vision's back. It's amazing. This is all body modification. So people that are scared of all these different body modifications and what people want to do with RFID chips and what Elon Musk wants to do with this and what Stephen Hawking has said is possible, upload your consciousness into a digital package, and then you can upload the consciousness of another body, let's say a brain dead patient who's already been checked out but their body is still alive and well. Who's to say we're not going to come to a point where we can transfer our consciousness and our humanity into a computer chip and then transfer that computer chip into a host body?
There have been movies about this.
There have been movies about this. And what is happening today? Art is imitating life. Everything we're seeing in movies is a bit Minority Report, this swishing around with gloves on a screen. That's happening today. Reading people's minds like in and being able to communicate like in Star Wars using the Force and shit. All this is going to happen using Elon Musk's fucking Neuralink program, where we can all talk to each other. He sees a world where in 5 or 10 years, we no longer have to talk like this. We can plug ourselves into the computer, think all the thoughts without actually having to put it in constructed sentences, but the emotion and the feeling of what we're saying is there, and people are going to be able to understand. They're going to understand what we're thinking, what we're saying, and where it comes from. All just using the thoughts and brain waves. Then what happens? The human evolves into this being that no longer needs a mouth, so the mouth shrinks to the size of something that we don't need, because now we're being fed through fucking pellets that are concentrated with vitamins and nutrients and minerals to solve world hunger. And then so we're just sipping through little straws. Our mouth gets real tiny. Then we need bigger and bigger eyes just so that we could see the world around us, because eventually we're going to modify our eyes to see all the spectrums of the world that we never saw before. Like this one body modification. There's a chemical that they found in the deep sea called CE6. CE6. And they've extracted this. And what it's used for is they inject it into patients who have ocular degeneration. Their eyesight is degenerating at rapid paces. And there's this one guy who took this in order, they use it in order to reverse degenerative eye diseases. Well, this one guy decided he was going to try and use it so that he could have night vision. And he succeeded. So he puts this CE6 compound into his system, and all of a sudden he could see up to 160 feet in darkness, see an object, 160, 165 feet away. And this is just using a natural chemical, processed, of course, through science, but injected into the body. And what happened when it turned like his eyes black, at least the picture I saw, his whole eye was black. Okay, so what happens if we do that? We are going to morph using the technology that we've created for ourselves. What are we going to end up being? Like Joe Rogan, take a shot, says all the time, which is what I'm getting at. Like eventually all these body modifications are going to have us looking like the fucking aliens that we have always thought we were seeing, the Greys. We're going to have these hydrocephalic heads, these large heads that are holding all these computer components that help us communicate telepathically, and reducing our need for vocal intonations and reducing the need for our mouths. Technology is going to give us more concentrated food sources, so we're not going to need the big mouths. We're not going to need our noses as much, because all these extra sensory perceptions that we have, not ESP rather, but it's going to seem like it, because it's all going to be ESP by technology. It's going to reduce our need for our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our sense of touch. Eventually we're going to be these tiny little organisms that do everything through mental capacity rather than physical, tangible actions. What do you think?
I think
Tony's weekly rants.
I think eventually all that bullshit's gonna happen. I'm just wondering what's
When?
gonna fucking no. Well, yeah, that too. But yeah, what is gonna be body modification? I don't want to say for fun, but like what is gonna be the equivalent of fucking piercings and fucking?
Oh, I'll tell you. You want to know what it is?
Okay.
Self-amputation. Intentional amputation. You're going to have perfectly good arms and legs, but you're going to have such better technological replacements for them, like the hands that they got now. You can crush somebody's hand with a handshake with these artificial limbs that are being created. The guy that comes out on Rogan, take a shot, all the time, that military dude who had his arm and leg bit off by a shark, I think, or blown off. One of the fuck, I don't know. No, it was the shark guy. Yeah. It was a guy who was he was swimming with sharks, got his arm and his leg bit off, and he's got a regular leg that walks and responds to his musculature, and his arm. He says he can lock it into place to like hold a beer can, but if he sets it to like a grip and like wants to crush your hand, he can crush your hand. Like at what point are people, I mean, all it's going to take is for us to get sensors put in there for the nervous senses to actually be felt, for them to actually feel things. Once we can do that, and hands feel, like these artificial limbs feel like real limbs, and it takes away that phantom limb syndrome that's constantly there for these people. At that point, we're going to start seeing that. It's going to be the next step of tattoos and piercings and subdermals. Instead of that, we're just going to have full dermals. Get rid of my skin, replace it with this technology that's all like clear plastic that I could use as a fucking computer on my forearm, and you can see all the musculature and tendons underneath in a clear like plastic. Like, we're going to see some weird shit come out, dude, and it's going to be amazing. That's where I think we're going to go. We're just going to see some fucking weird ass fucking techno where you're gonna get your eyes removed from your body so you can get X-ray and night vision put in. You know what I mean? Or you're gonna get the chemicals injected like that other guy did and just have blacked out eyes and be able to see at night and have to wear like Riddick sunglasses all day. And that, remember, that was there it is again. More fucking life imitating art. You had Riddick, Pitch Black. You remember that movie with Vin Diesel? He gets his eyeballs removed and polished and put back into his head so that he can fucking see in the dark. And now we're doing that. We're getting, instead of doing it that way, we found a different way to do it, a more realistic way. You get fucking just a chemical compound put in that lets you see. It over dilates your pupils so you can see it. It's fucking crazy.
You remember the movie, Keanu Reeves movie, Johnny Mnemonic?
Oh man, what an amazing movie that one was.
What I was thinking.
Yeah, he would upload program or information into his brain. You basically acted like a human hard drive.
Yeah.
You could take information and then go transfer it to somebody else's brain or computer disk or whatever. Fucking insane. But and you know what they used there? They used a form of cryptocurrency. The way that they had the passwords set up, where only you had the password, then the other person had the password, then there was the transaction, but you couldn't see who had the transactions. You just know a transaction took place. It was cryptocurrency. Life imitating art today.
That was in like 95.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. That's our next episode, everybody. Next week, I think we're gonna look into all this technology that came from from art into reality, which is half of what this episode was about. Let's follow it up next episode. Maybe. We'll see if we remember. We never fucking do. But guys, I think that's the end of this one. This one ran a little long. We're coming up on almost an hour now, so we're gonna cut off here. Frank, any last minute things you want to cut into this conversation?
No.
Didn't think so. What do we tell the people, Frank? Oh, what do we tell the people how to find us?
They find us wherever they listen to podcasts, and they can also find us in Instagram under @CI Podcast, and the Twitterverse under Completely App. They can email us with their questions, comments, concerns at completelyinappropriatepodcast@gmail.com. They can find us under Completely Inappropriate Podcast on Facebook,
YouTube, and BitChute. Facebook, YouTube, and BitChute. We're everywhere you want to look, guys. We love you fuckers. We love doing this for you. We're having a good time every fucking week. Frank, what do we tell the people?
Yes, we do.
Find y'all happy. Try to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Because if not, you're the fucking problem! Frank! Say bye, fucker.
Bye,
fucker. Oh. Bye, you fucks.